everyone, and welcome to another XTIVIA webinar, Optimizing SLED Procurement with Monday.com. Thank you so much for being here today. Before we dive in, just going to go through our agenda here. We'll start off with what is Monday.com, then move into challenges in SLED procurement, followed by a live demo, and finally some time for Q&A and next steps for your organization. Now, before we dive in today, I want to tell you just a little bit about our company. For more than 3 decades, we've been providing a variety of expert IT services to hundreds of businesses in countless industries. At XTIVIA, we like to say, if you can imagine the business outcome, XTIVIA can create it with technology. And here you can see some of the technology and services that we offer. We offer a wide range of services. If we can help your company with one thing, chances are we can help your company with another. So don't hesitate to reach out if you see anything on this list that you're in need of. And today we're very lucky to be joined by Amy Morrow. Amy is a Monday.com certified consultant who leads the professional services team for Monday.com and XTIVIA, specializing in process improvement and standardization. Her expertise lies in workflow optimization, assisting organizations in enhancing their utilization of Monday.com through streamlining procurement, project management, and collaboration. And she is dedicated to helping SLED teams simplify intricate processes, ensure efficiency and compliance, and seamlessly integrate Monday.com's capabilities. So with that, I will go ahead and pass it over to Amy for what is Monday.com.
Thank you so much, Alex. Okay, so, I know that a lot of you got this invite because you have maybe heard about Monday and wondered what is it, and you're trying to get to understand it a little bit more. But basically, we'll kind of just walk you through a high level of what is Monday. You can definitely dig deeper on your own because Monday has a lot of material available, but we're going to really talk specifically what is Monday for procurement in the SLED industry. So let's kind of go through here and what we'll show on the next slide. Alex, if you wouldn't mind switching over. The next slide is going to really be walking us through what Monday's products are. So Monday as a whole has 4 main products that they sell. You can see here they've got work management, Monday CRM, Monday Dev, and Monday Service. Now, through all of those products, they all run off of the core system, which is work management. So they're very similar looking, but the differences that you'll see between all of the variations is they have different templates, they have different functionalities. One that I like to highlight in work management would be they have a really nice portfolio view. So if you're in project management or task management, you want to see your top to bottom, what's happening in all of those business operations, you can see that. In the Monday CRM, that is, very much a classic CRM. You have your accounts, your contacts, but then you can also utilize Monday's integration with email, which is incredibly helpful. So yeah, you can email directly from there and also store your emails with your clients. And then we've got Monday Dev. Monday Dev is really a focus on the development teams. It's got a lot of the work that engineering groups will use. So, they're working with sprints and it's all based around that. And then Monday Service is the new kid on the block, I say, but I think it's very, very neat. It's got a ton of potential for a lot of my existing clients even. So Monday Service is a ticketing solution. With that ticketing solution, you also get a web or a portal that is linked to your Monday boards. So, when we're talking about Monday, it's like, a way for you to kind of manage all of those processes you can see on the bottom. It goes from anything from project management to marketing requests, IT support, release management for engineering teams, and then financial services or, all things related to business services in general. So that's just a little bit about Monday's different products. One thing that you would get by working with us at XTIVIA is we can help you determine which product is best suited for your needs. We have that knowledge in the background in the products well enough to understand, okay, if you're looking for something that maybe is more customer facing and you need to be communicating with clients on the regular, then CRM might be good for you. So yeah, we can help you understand that and don't want anyone to feel intimidated by the different products that they have. Okay. On the next slide, why are we talking specifically about procurement today? So not only do we have a lot of experience in government and procurement here at XTIVIA, I mean, we have so many clients up and down the chain here, straight down to city, we have schools, we have state level agencies, and we found that in working with all of them, there's a need for procurement processes within Monday. So, the government procurement teams are dealing with those very regulated processes that are strict, compliant, and they are lengthy. There's a lot of approvals that need to happen for every step. There's a lot of systems that, are not maybe all documented in one place. So Monday helps by centralizing all of the tracking for the large amount of things that you do in procurement. For solicitations, RFPs, vendor approvals, budget allocations. We found that our clients really were looking for somewhere to consolidate all of that. So, they also within Monday help you to automate any workflows. So that automation, not only does it automate to eliminate some, wasted time possibly, but it also standardizes processes. So it helps by reducing delays by having a very consistent process that you're going through regularly, and there's no real questions on if that has happened or if that hasn't happened. So, in talking about that, we're talking about that real-time collaboration across departments. So if you have, someone from a different group that needs to approve something, you can give them access to that approval within your workspace in Monday, and it makes that communication flow seamlessly. And then it's also incredibly helpful for, being able to track all your audits and your record keeping, especially when you're talking about compliance. You can see exactly where you are and in the process and who's doing what at each time. So there's no questions on if someone has done something or not. You're going to be able to very much see what's happening across every department and every area that your Monday boards or processes would be touching. All right. So this is my favorite one because this is really where I want to help our clients. So when we're talking to our SLED client base, we found that there's a lot of challenges that they're facing. And in understanding those pain points for them helps us to understand how can we, make a solution in Monday that will satisfy or help to come in and supply the need that they have to resolve these issues. So you can see, and I'm sure just seeing a lot of these words for people is like, okay, yes, she gets us because I've seen it a lot. The bureaucracy and compliance requirements. In government, you have to follow strict procedures, requirements to ensure fair bidding, transparency, and fiscal responsibility. So by doing that, without having a system that can help you through it, it can lead to long approval times, excessive paperwork, and complex workflows. You can also tell you've got manual processes, which, anything manual, there's the opportunity to, come do something out of place or to maybe not be standardized across all team members. So, in that manual process, you've got people relying on spreadsheets, emails, and that's how they're, a lot of people are manually tracking things. I like to also bring up that I've had several clients even just have a list of Post-it notes and they say, here's how I'm keeping track of everything. Or they have text messages, or, in the office, if someone just drives, walks by and gives you that quick little status update. So those are the manual processes that I'm talking about. It's hard for a team to, make any decisions off of something if it's not all documented in one place. And then tracking, vendor contracts and solicitations, it really can get, a little bit overwhelming, especially in the solicitation world when you have so many bids out and you have a lot of vendors that you're trying to work with. It will help you to, really centralize all of that data that's coming in, the questions the vendors are asking, the response times on the bids, and, to understand what is happening in your team. Do they have the bandwidth to accomplish these things? So yeah, you'll see that in some of the boards that we built out that, that's one area that we found to have a lot of potential to relieve some of those pain points quickly. And then the last one is the lack of real-time communication and collaborations. You're going to notice in Monday, everything in Monday is live. So it eliminates that, middle ground where, maybe someone has a spreadsheet on their machine and someone else wants to know what the data is on that spreadsheet. Instead of having to go to that person and ask for that update, they can go directly to the dashboard and see the live data. So it helps you get that real-time collaboration, and it helps teams know exactly, pinpoint any of the things that are causing an issue in the process right away. So yeah, that is definitely where we have seen our clients need support. All right, Alex, the next one. Okay, so this slide is specific to one of those pain points. One of the pain points a lot of our clients or our potential clients will bring up, even in just those initial conversations about Monday, is, oh, well, do you sell to government agencies? Well, we can very proudly say that XTIVIA is the only company that offers Monday licensing and professional services via the GSA. So, you can utilize our services through the GSA, but we also have so many other procurement processes that help make it easy for you to maintain or to get that Monday licensing and to use the professional services. I know that, some of our clients were surprised when they heard professional services were offered and not just the licensing, because it meant they can finally have a consultant come in and help them to deploy and help them to, get Monday up and running in their team. So that's something that we are able to provide to help relieve some of those pain points. Okay, so I wanted to kind of walk you through some demos. We've been talking about Monday, but let's actually see some of the stuff we've got built out. Within our Monday instance, you will see that we have pre-built out solutions for specific issues. So, this kind of covers the idea behind some of the use cases our clients had. So they wanted solicitation and RFP tracking. So, we have a solicitation and RFP tracking board. It tracks every piece of information that you could look to achieve, in understanding the process of where the solicitation is in the internal process. But then we also have, that level deeper, the bid evaluation and the vendor selection. So, once you've got those solicitations out there, now understanding as these vendors are starting to roll in and you're determining which group you're going to be working with, you can organize the vendors' questions. You can, make sure that they're all in compliance of the requirements that are coming through on those initial proposals. So it's very helpful to organize for that. And then this is not just SLED, this is every financial group that I've worked with, purchasing requests and approvals. This comes in across the board where, you have people having purchasing requests, and within Monday, you can utilize a Monday form that can kick off an entire workflow and process for the finance team to, approve, reject, and to keep track of all of those requests that are coming in. We also will be covering a vendor management and compliance board. So in that vendor management and compliance board, you're going to be able to see everything you need to know about a vendor. You can really think of this very similar to a CRM where you're keeping that documentation at the account level. So you're able to understand if the vendor has been approved, if they're not approved. You can keep vendor performance reviews in there. Any important documentation as well can be stored in there. So we'll walk through that. And then the last thing is about auditing and compliance tracking. So I'll show you an auditing and compliance tracking board that we actually built out for a client of mine not that long ago. But this one I thought would be very helpful for this team because it does seem like something that in the SLED world that could be coming up as a potential use case for you. So you can see over here, let me just get my views all correct. Okay. So you can see over here, this is Monday. Coming into Monday, I will give you, because I don't know if everyone has seen Monday or what they're used to working with, but Monday is organized in such a clean and easy way that it's very user friendly and easy to adapt to. So you in Monday will have the access to separate out your work via work workspaces. So in this scenario, I'll just show you, you can have other workspaces and those can be separated out by department or business use. And then within there, you can have different levels of permission sets. So your permissions are going to be very easy to say, okay, there's some places I don't want anyone to have access to, but there's other things that I want to have entire full team access to. So you can control that in Monday. And just so you know, as looking up here, you can see I am in Monday's work management product, and I am in the enterprise edition because that is where our solutions are available here at XTIVIA. So let's go straight to the solution management. I will start with, well, how about we start with this dashboard? So a dashboard in Monday, like I said, everything here is live. So within the dashboards in Monday, you can very quickly identify the things that you need to identify for your team. So, you know, if you wanted to see where are we at, what are our processes? We've got some bids that are in spec review. We've got some that are done, and that some that are actually in the process of being worked on. Or you can look at that same exact data and see how it's broken out here by agency. So let's see, in the fire department, they have 4 formal solicitations, and they have 1 backwards. They have 1 formal and 4 informal solicitations. And the neat thing about Monday is if I want to, I can click on this and that will bring up the actual work behind it. So not only is it presenting this data to you in a chart view, but then you can get right down to the nitty-gritty detail of the actual work that made that chart available for you. Okay, and so I'll show you this in 1 second. These are the way that Monday boards are laid out. But you get the same thing here, like this is a calendar view. And so here's all of my open bids by procurement manager. So I can see, you know, find by the name, and we have it colored, and you can see what's their bid, what are they working on. So, you know, here's my RQ number, here's the person who requested it, the amount. I can get all of that detail that's stored in the Monday board, but from a calendar view. And then you have so many options that I only made a few of them here available for everyone to see, but another option to see is, you know, by workload. If you want to know what work your entire team has got assigned to them, and this is for anywhere in Monday, but we're using it here in the solicitation board, you can see what's going on. What do they have assigned to them and when? So on this week, there are these 2 bids that are assigned, and they're both in the bid review status. And then this other employee has 1 bid that closed previously, and then another bid that is in that bid review status. So it makes it nice and easy for you to identify what your team is working on and, you know, what they have available. You can see the different colors here. It's because you are able to set up in the work that they're tracking and doing. You're able to actually set and force a notification for you to tell you, hey, are they at max capacity? Let's say I'm only available to do one a week. It's all I can handle. Although I'm sure you guys do a lot more than that. My numbers are very low in this demo compared to what you guys are doing. But you can see here, it'll highlight for you and say, oh, there's 2 assigned to them, but there's only 1 available in their weekly capacity. Or we can go more realistic. Maybe they can get 5 done. And so you can see, oh, there's more that this person can take on. They have the bandwidth. So it's just a neat feature within Monday that we definitely have clients utilizing all the time. So let's actually look at that formal solicitation board. So within Monday, where you are storing all of the items that you're logging or keeping track of, they're called a board. And within the board, there's different ways to categorize them, and these are called groups. So you can set up groups in a workflow process. You can set up groups to say active or inactive. You know, this very, very flexible. You can see, even if I wanted to change the color of my group, I didn't have to go into any back-end coding. I'm able to change that right here. So it's very user-friendly, but you can also lock down who's allowed to do what in the permissions as well. So I'll just show you, you know, in the solicitation board, some of the neat features that our clients are really enjoying. Let me just put a test one in here so you can see how this works. So if we have a new test bid come in and I decide, okay, I'm ready to start taking this one on, I'm going to hit bid spec review. And when I hit that button, it's going to cause some automations. And here's what Monday is talking about in standardizing the processes. You can see my automations are building out here. So in order for me to do a bid spec review, I know I have to have I have to create the RFQ. I have to be doing my bid spec review. I'm going to have to send it out for an agency to review, get my final review. So you can standardize each one of those steps. And that way, you know if someone has done it or not done it. You can assign it to a specific person and someone else can have a different assignment. You can keep track of when it's due to come through or when it's completed. So you will know every step of the way where you are in that process by just looking at it. Another very neat thing about Monday is and this is everywhere in Monday, you're able to directly communicate on an item. And so if I wanted to, I can tag a person's name in here, just like in social media, and write them a little update here and just say, hi. Or you could say, where are we at in this process? You can see here too that I can respond, and you are all staying within Monday again to get that kind of feedback from your team members. So I point this out as a very, very useful tool within Monday for communication purposes, for things like, let's say someone has to go to a doctor's appointment and they're not able to give you their update really quickly. You don't have to worry about it because you can come to the board, see what they're doing, see where their status is, and then talk directly to them here on the issue. I also bring this up when you're thinking about vacation. I know a lot of times, especially this happens to me all the time, but I'm sure it's everyone. When you go on vacation, you're almost dreading coming back because you have to catch up on everything that you missed while you were gone. Monday helps with that because you can see the things that have happened and how they've continued to be updated while you're gone. Another thing that you can do is go, hey, I'm going to be on vacation. I can't take this assignment anymore. I'm going to give this to a different person. So very easy in being able to communicate those open items that you're working on and seeing how other people on your team has helped. And I can also assign it to multiple people. So, if we need to have 2 people assigned to something, you can. And the example here of showing that these tasks can be automated, you can do that on anything that you want within Monday. I just identified a trigger that I wanted to automate. You can have different automations happen. Maybe there's different types of reviews. Maybe your RFQs and your RFPs have a slightly different process. Or maybe something that comes from the fire department has to have a different person approving it. So here at XTIVIA, as a partner on Monday, we're able to help you think through those types of processes and build out our solution here to actually help, directly fit into your use cases. But you can see, the data points that are collected across the board. We're seeing the requester's name, the agency, what type of a bid it is, if it's formal or informal. You actually are also able to see what vendors are supporting this bid or submitted in for this bid. And then other great pieces of data that are just important to know, right? When was it created? When's the open date? When's the evaluation process due? These data points are all something you can utilize to show on a dashboard. So it's just very easy for you to be able to see that. And as they come in, depending on the statuses, you can make an automation and you see, okay, this one's been awarded. We're good to go. The process of making the board kind of flow and work for you is something that we can help with. Because when you do get Monday from scratch, it is almost completely blank. It's like a blank slate, right? So this is a solution that we built out here at XTIVIA based off of communications with our customers, some of the solutions we've built for them that we've actually implemented into their systems. So another point on solicitation, you can see here that there is also the option to collect all of your vendor RFQ questions. I know that's something that's definitely comes up when you send out your bid. You can even put a link to Monday's form in it. I'll show you how easy it is. You can share, copy a link, or you can even just make it a little QR code if you want, wherever you would like for people to submit their questions. And this is for the solicitation board specifically, but you can get imaginative here, and you can use this kind of a thing for anything from an IT ticketing solution, a customer support ticketing space. I've had one of our clients was a very large library, and they had a lot of vendors that wanted to come in and do programs at the library. So they made forms that they put on their websites that are all Monday forms that are coming in and populating into a Monday board. So you can see here, data points that you would want to collect from people asking those questions. And then, as you bring in your attachments, and let me just bring one in so you can kind of see how these work. And I know when I do a demo, it's always scary because you're like, okay, I'm showing people actual live information. Will it work? I think this one will. But you can see as the attachments come in, Monday has a lot of AI features and capabilities. One of them is that it can extract information from an attachment. So this is the same attachment. I'll just put the same one in here. If I'm adding an attachment to a board, and this could be from the form, you can they can populate their attachments and you can tell them to list specific things, but you can see that in this attachment, one of the questions that's in here is how many users do you anticipate, right? And so with the AI capabilities within Monday, you can really customize the type of data that you're trying to pull from attachments, but you can also do so many other features within AI that, I think I'm barely scratching the surface of Monday's capabilities here, but just know that, yes, there's a lot more you can do. And then I also want to show very quickly that how easy it is for you to update things within Monday. Let's say you don't need vendor's name. I just wanted to say vendor, right? You can delete and update column headers and names. You can also, like I was showing you, changing the group's colors. You can easily do that within the drop downs as well. If I wanted a brand new drop down and maybe it just says NA, oops, and I also want it to have a different color, maybe NA is black, not applicable, we're not going to use that. So now it's an available drop down for me if I wanted to choose it. So the ease of use in Monday is very crucial here. I'm not going to any backend developer to ask for updates on a feature. We can help train up your internal teams to know how to make these updates on your own. So it's very helpful in that way that, you're not having to go out to an external source to get that type of support. But yeah, so this is the solicitation QA board. But you can see also, let me just show you there, Monday has documents for templates. So we've got, RFQ templates, we've got RFP templates, we have vendor review templates that you can utilize in these in these boards. So let's say, you have a, well, let's do it by vendor here. I'll go to the vendor list. And so this is a vendor tracking board, pretty much a basic CRM. But at the vendor's side, you can say, I want to bring in a new review for a vendor. So I'm going to go to my document and I'm going to look at my templates and I'll see, okay, here, another vendor review form. I'm going to use this. And this is a template that we have pre-built out so that you can populate the data as you need to do that vendor evaluation. And it will store right here tied to that vendor's name. You can also see this is where you could store things like your W-9, your insurance certifications, any other pieces of information like that. And you can also rate your vendors. If you want to say, okay, yeah, this is someone we love working with, this guy, not so much. It's an easy way to store all of that type of communication. And then another amazing feature within Monday is not only is this vendor information, but it's linking you now to that formal solicitation project tracker. You can see what solicitations they've maybe been awarded or maybe they've submitted questions for. However we want to track that information, you can do that there. And then I'll also show you in the compliance world, and this is more hitting on, auditing and things like that. You have, well, we've made this board, but you have the availability in Monday to track all of those pieces of data that you're building your requirements off of. There's a lot of things, that I'm sure all sorts of communications are happening on. You can keep track of, websites that you want to link back to, or what the costs are if you fail the audit, how often you have to go back and do the audit, dates, all of this information. And then you can link back to the agencies who are actually causing this audit, right? And so in this scenario, these are all of the agencies and the divisions of the agency. So we have every bit of information that you need to know in order for you able to actually start doing your audit. In this scenario that I'm showing, there is a button that you can click that now I want to go and start a task on this, right? So this is a way for you to very easily go, okay, here's our requirements and our documents we're working in, but now let's actually work off of it. But another thing to show is that you can also track by scheduled date. You can say, these are the ones that are coming up. These are the ones we need to work on. Another piece that one of our clients really loved being able to see is from all of those requirements and activities that are going on, they're able to see how many do I have per week, right? Or per month. We can make all sorts of different charts in the dashboards. This one just happened to be very helpful for them, so they can go, hey, you know what? We got April's coming up. It looks like some of them haven't started yet. Let's actually dig deeper into these that haven't started. And it gets you right to the issues that you have to start working on. So you're not having to go and hunt through, levels of material to find that information. So yeah, the Monday board is very helpful for tracking that. And then the other thing that I will show you before we kind of open up for anyone who has maybe any questions is there is a finance board that we use very often. The finance board is an easy way for you to track any existing budgets that you're looking to track. You can use this to show what's the amounts that are allocated, spent versus remaining. Monday has formula fields also that, very similar to Excel. If you'd rather work in the formula, you can, but it lets you, identify exactly where you're at, what departments have what budget's allocated to them. And then you can even tie it back to any of the other boards within Monday. You can tie it back to the accounts board or to a grant that maybe made that budget available. So, the amount of things that you can do in Monday are endless. And what I know that I've mentioned this, but I really want to drive it home, because working with XTIVIA is where you're going to have, a guided consultant who's used to working in your type of an environment and can help brainstorm the types of solutions that would be helpful for you. Because like I said, this doesn't come out of the box. This is all, built custom to the use cases of our clients. But another one that I want to touch on is finance requests. So I'm sure that, you guys are used to seeing those types of things. There's expenses, there's all sorts of types. We can, travel reimbursement, procurement requests. But this is another use case here for Monday to utilize a form, right? So you can have a finance request form, and I'll just fill this out so you can see how it populates. You can put in anything that you want. You can make fields required here. You have drop-down options here. All of the data that you're able to see on the board, you can fill out and utilize in the form as well. So if I hit submit here, it's going to now populate my test into the main table. And so it starts to bring in all of the data that I filled out on the form. Now, in the internal process, we can go, okay, this one's new. I'm going to say it's stuck because I need some more information, but the priority is high. You're able to start communicating and storing the data that you've collected on that exact scenario. So it's very helpful. And then another thing, you can auto create some subtasks in here. So if you have, like this one is stuck. Maybe you want to submit a task for someone else to review it because you need a little support. Maybe you don't understand the use case. But you can see that, yeah, Monday's very flexible in letting you determine what those scenarios are that make you want to have a sub item or some additional steps. And then another thing to kind of just show you is the sub items are not all the same columns that are on the top. So in the Monday world, your sub items, you can do an entire different process on. You can look to add more columns, and any of these column types are going to be available for you. So you can add in any AI columns, you can do combo columns, but you can read through and see what those columns are and their use cases to see if it's going to be something that you would, it would be helpful to add for you. So I like adding in, I don't know, a progress column. And so you can add in progress tracking, and you can actually map this to, you can see it's 0% because we've done nothing. But you can map this to other fields and track the progress. And then also in the finance request, you can have a dashboard. You can build out additional widgets within the dashboards. So if I wanted to have a to-do list, if I wanted to have a calendar, timeline, all of these types are available for you to pick and choose depending on your needs for each of the use cases within Monday. And then, just kind of to summarize here, the thing that I find, is very helpful is a lot of teams bring Monday in, and as they deploy Monday within their group, usually, you can start small, like deploy in one department, right? And then I will tell you right now, the second you show some other team members something like a dashboard, they're going to go, wow, how did you make that? How were you able to get that data so quickly? How's that data live? That's when other teams start going, oh, okay, you know what? IT was looking at a ticketing solution. Monday has a ticketing solution. And you start to realize there may be some other programs within your industry or your group that you guys are utilizing. I know that a heavy one in government is ServiceNow, right? A lot of teams are using that, and have a lot of people who have been switching from that into Monday's ticketing solution with me because they'd rather be all within one platform. And now it's not a requirement for you to switch at all, because one of the other things that's very helpful with Monday is they have these native integrations. There is no additional charge here for you to utilize these in the enterprise licensing. And so you can see these are things that Monday can do out of the box. You can have it linked directly to your Outlook calendar. You can have it directly link into your Teams or to your Slack. And some very simple automations happen here. If you want, when a new item is created, send an email to someone. It's a simplified process that we can help to set up for you so that you are able to get those notifications in any way that you see that you would like to have them. And then the other thing, because you're going to see not every program is available here. At XTIVIA, we can help in customizing any integrations to other systems that also have an open API. So, if there is an ERP system that you would like connected to a Monday board, and maybe you just want some notifications on information that happens there to feed through, we can help you with that as well as we do custom API integrations. So, that's pretty much my spiel. I know I went on, but there's a lot to cover, and I just wanted to make sure your teams were all available to see as much as you can out of Monday. Obviously, if you're interested, we can do a more personalized, specific demo with any of your groups. You'll see Amir is one of our sales members who's on this, and feel free to reach out anytime. So yeah, and this is, and we'll open it up to questions here, but I did want to share with you guys this QR code will lead you to our website. On our website, you will be able to start a free trial with Monday. And I think that that's the best way to kind of get in and see what your teams need, what kind of effort it takes to maybe build something out. It's really a kind of a playground for you. But the neat thing about that free trial is if you determine go into Monday and continue using it, all of the stuff you build out in that free trial will just be brought kind of grandfathered into your live Monday account. So I see that there are some questions that were added in here. So one of the questions I saw is, how do we figure out the cost of Monday for your team? That's one thing that we can help in helping you to understand, but really what you're going to look at is how many licenses you need. The license count in Monday is going to determine your cost, right? And, I will mention that Monday does have, in the enterprise accounts, you get the access to have viewer licenses. Those are free. So that's a viewer is someone who literally can see Monday. They can't make any edits, but they're able to visualize those charts and dashboards. There's also guest licensing. Guest licensing is free as well, but that has to be someone outside of your organization. So, if my email address is amorrow@xtivia.com, then I can't give a guest license to someone else with that same email. But what it's very helpful for is you can give tasks to someone like subcontractors or people in different areas, and those people will be able to edit and make adjustments into your Monday boards if you grant them that access. So yeah, understanding the cost, I think, is really going to be mostly understanding your use case and your needs. And like I said, you can start small and expand, or I've got a lot of teams that just say, we're going across the board, let's do it all. We are here to help with that as well. I saw the next question is, what are the average hours needed to consult to get our board set up? That is definitely on a each team's basis. I would say for clients, I'll use the CRM as an example. So if you're just looking for a board that has account information and you have all of your account data in an Excel file and really just need some customization and training, we could probably knock that out within maybe 10 hours. So that would be the customization and the training, because maybe you've done all of the effort. But if you're looking into a more complex implementation, it really depends on your use cases, and we can have a follow-up call to help scope out your needs so that we can get you a customized consultation support. And then how many boards can you have that can be connected? So to the dashboard, you are able to connect up to 20 different boards in the enterprise seat. Monday does have other licensing, and as the licensing prices go down, obviously the flexibility goes down, right? So if you are in Monday Pro, you can only link up to 10 boards into a dashboard. But in the enterprise version, you get up to 20, and you can connect boards all over the place. It kind of is very open to you to be able to do that. So I know we're right at time, and I understand everyone's, we picked a very busy group here, so I don't want to take away from any more of your day. But like I said, feel free to write down any of our contact information here. Feel free to scan that QR code so that you can start your own Monday trial. And then obviously you'll also have access to our information there as well. And yeah, that's it. I hope to be hearing from some of you guys soon. I know I just love helping people. So I hope that we can do that for your teams.
And that wraps it up for all of us here at XTIVIA. As Amy mentioned, please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Scan the QR code to start your free Monday.com trial. And we hope to see you in a future webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for joining. I appreciate it.